up as much as it could.
Well, good morning, everybody. It is 6:25 a.m. for my West Coast peeps. It is 8:25 for me. Let's check news. We've got 5 minutes still open. Oh no. Bostic has a speech. And Muslim. Treat it like any other day. Wait a couple more minutes for a couple other peeps to load in before I start going over everything. I'll give them 2 more minutes, and if not, too bad, and I'm not repeating myself.
O'zingiz bo'sh qo'yasiz, hozir butun nuqtani ochib olamiz, xo'pmi? 1, 2, 3. Zo'r. Sizga ham zo'r ochildi. Bobor. Yo'q, o'zingiz bo'sh qo'yasiz.
2 minutes still open. We've been in an uptrend since yesterday after we broke above the 500. So if you look at when I ended up taking my final buy and price pushed above the 500, all throughout the end of the day and through Asia of today, and then London, we supported up off of the 500. So 500 is really playing a support there since yesterday. We're hitting a resistance here, which was once level. That brought us pretty overbought. And then price dropped down to R1 gold zone, went oversold, shot back up, overbought where we're at right now. So we're getting some rejection here. We still have an uptrend structure, so I'm going to be patient. You know, we might make an M. So for Nathan, is Nathan here? Good, Nathan just got in. So for Nathan, just like with the W you questioned yesterday, you know, if this made an M tilting down, that would be a strong M to take to the downside. Once again, M's and W's, you wait for it to play out. You don't take it expecting it to turn into an M. You wait for it to reveal itself. M's are stronger when they're tilting down. W's are stronger when they are tilting up. So that's the difference with yesterday's W. We are getting some volume to the downside here. A minute left. Oh, no, actually right now. So we're on perp. Just let it do its thing. Where is the AC remote? We've moved 1, 2, 3. We've moved about 3,000 pips for the day. About 3,500 pips for the day. Yesterday we moved about 3,600 pips to the downside too. So pretty right on that low end average. Oh, 1:25 a.m. I didn't even see a usual 1:25 a.m. Oh, it's 1:25 a.m. for you. Yeah, that's pretty shitty. That New Zealand time got you fucked up. Worth it though. Worth it. I remember when I was in Portland, and I used to try to trade London session. London session in Portland is midnight, and I would stay on till like shit, sometimes like 8 a.m. the next day. One time even longer. I spent like a whole day until night type of thing. That was when I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and I was just doing everything. Trying to trade everything, trying to trade every session. Yeah. It did not make sense. So we got a pretty big doji form in here. Wick to the bottom, possibly continuing this this uptrend structure that we're currently in. I don't know if it's real. We'll see. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Pretty big support there. Let's see if we stay strong. I adjusted my uptrend, my higher time frame uptrend from yesterday, so I connected like 4 days ago's low to yesterday's low, and that's my new uptrend that I have right there. I know it looks like a clusterfuck, but all those mean something on the higher time frames anyways, at least all the big ones. So pretty big doji forming. Which could be a rejection to the previous high and that level, or could be a support to R1 level and the uptrend line.
You stop scrolling here. Chances are you don't know how to squat. I don't mean to hurt your feelings. I'm gonna teach you how to squat properly. This is what might get through.
Dolce & Gabbana, Fendi and Odana, Karen, baby, Sharon, all the roses got you wearing rat. Ooh la la la.
You stop scrolling here. Chances are you don't.
5 minutes. Pretty big hammer. Pushing off of perp. I'd love to see us break the previous high to believe we'd be heading up though. Pips. 1800. Price is pushing back to the purple line. Pips away. Liddies aren't helping. Going red and green. Only thing that I can see is we're rejecting the previous high and that level. We're coming from being overbought. Slight support to the bottom here. Bearish volume is pretty strong though. So pretty support there. Possibly, well, there are 2 wicks to the bottom. Just back on perp. Cause you're hot and you're cold, you're yes and you're no, you're in and you're out feeling down. Yeah, I don't. We're still in an uptrend structure. I mean, it's a flat top, so I don't know if I consider it a wedge. I'm still, you know, I'm not favoring it, but we're in an uptrend structure, so I would consider the top side until this broke the downtrend. I guess you could have a flat top wedge. That's normal. But it's just these 2 levels. You know, we're stuck in between these 2 levels. The level right on R1 and the level at the high of the day. So far 2 wicks to the bottom. Price stuck on perp. We got sellers in the market. Still supporting. third wick to the bottom, but prices underneath perp. Big support here now. What you wanna do? I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live?
Bye bye, good night.
See you. So big volume pushing now. Let's see how this ends. Nice volume. Let's see if we get through R1. Let's see if we stay below this uptrend. Pretty solid push there. What do we have? We have the 500 down there near P. Let's see if we can stay strong. I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Strong volume. If we can break hard, the low of the day is roughly P gold zone. The 500's right there. LED candles are red. We got the 100 and 200 MAs playing as support. Let's see how this plays out. I'm tired. I have a gala dinner that I need to attend tomorrow. I need to go buy new shoes. New dress shoes that can support my flat feet and bad Achilles. I also need orthotics. I need to get a new insole. Oh my god, I sound like I'm getting fucking old. So we got price pushed underneath R1, but we're supporting slightly. Let's see if price makes its normal decision to stay under. I'm looking left. Oh, always look left to find reasons. Looking left, right in this area is previous day R1. And actually the day before that, that was the high of the day. So sometimes what was once resistance can turn into support. So that could possibly be what's happening here. This area that was once a resistance, which is like a roof, you know, once price breaks it, can sometimes now become an area of support. We're getting dangerously close to the 100, so there are a few things standing in the way. If you guys have noticed this entire week, unlike other weeks, or even the week before that, there's the entries that we've taken last week had a lot less things in the way, you know, and it's not to say like it's not going to drop like it looks like it wants to right now, but it's when you have these visual cues that are in front of you, it makes it harder to make the decision. So, but we are getting that little rejection there of R1 now. Let's see if that's a a good sign of us wanting to head down. When is Bostic is speaking, right? In 5 minutes. How much does Fed Bostic make? Hello? Are you there? How much does... Hello? 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 How much? Hello? ChatGPT, where you at? How much does Fed Bostic make? Hey. Hello? Are you there, ChatGPT? Connection failed. So we're pushing the 100 right now. We're pushing the 100 while being oversold, and Fed Bostic speaks in 5 minutes. Dangerous. Are you there, ChatGPT? What is going on?
Hi there. I just want to...
Hi there. Nice to meet you.
Hey there. I've got a really great feeling. Hello. It's lovely to meet you. Hey, it's great to meet you.
Hey, what's up? Feel free to ask me about...
Hey, I'm ready to hit the ground.
Hi, glad to meet you. Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
Hello. Hey there.
Hi there. Nice to meet you.
Hello, hello, hello. Are you there?
I'm here. I'm here, loud and clear. Just let me know what's on your mind and we'll dive right in.
Fed Bostic with the Federal Treasury is having a speech today. What is he speaking about?
So it looks like Raphael Bostic from the Atlanta Fed is giving a speech today, and he's probably going to touch on the economy's strength and why they're taking a patient approach with monetary policy. So basically a bit of an economic update and a reminder to keep calm and carry on.
What do you think his favorite fruit is?
Well, that's a fun guessing game. I can't say for sure what Raphael Bostic's favorite fruit is. He hasn't exactly put that on the record, but if I had to throw a playful guess out there, maybe he's a berry person, something easy to snack on during those economic discussions.
How much does he make a year?
So based on public info, Raphael Bostic as a Federal Reserve Bank president makes somewhere in the ballpark of about $400,000 a year. It's definitely a comfortable salary, though not exactly at the top of the private sector scale. So he's doing pretty well.
So that I don't get looked at weird, Nathan. So he only make his yearly base salary is 400,000.
Yep, that's about right. It's roughly in that range. Around 400,000 is the standard ballpark for a Fed bank president like him. So definitely a solid salary, and now you've got a little trivia fact in your back pocket.
But he's only the Atlanta Reserve president, correct?
Exactly. Yep, he's the president of the Atlanta Fed, which is just one of the 12 regional Federal Reserve banks in the U.S. So he's got that specific regional focus, but he's still part of the broader Federal Reserve system, and that salary is pretty typical for a regional Fed president like him.
Does he get any benefits, stock options in the reserve?
Yeah, good question. So typically Federal Reserve Bank presidents don't get things like stock options because the Fed isn't a private company. It's a public institution, but they do get a solid benefits package, kind of like other high-level government or quasi-government roles. So think along the lines of health insurance, retirement plans, and all that good stuff. But yeah, no stock options in the mix.
Is he allowed to invest like any normal citizen?
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. He can invest, but there are definitely some pretty strict rules. Federal Reserve officials have to follow these guidelines to avoid any conflicts of interest, especially since they have a lot of insight into monetary policy that could impact the markets. So they can invest in things like mutual funds and broadly diversified investments, but they have to be really careful and follow those ethics rules to the letter. So he's not totally like a normal citizen investor, but he can still invest, just with a bit of extra caution.
So he can invest in mutual funds like the US30.
Exactly, you've got it. He can invest in broad mutual funds or index funds that track things like the US30, basically the Dow Jones, because those are diversified and not tied to individual stock picking. The idea is to keep it all above board and avoid any perception of using insider knowledge. So yeah, mutual funds are fair game.
Is his portfolio public?
Yeah, so to some extent it actually is. Senior Federal Reserve officials, including regional bank presidents like Bostic, have to file financial disclosure forms. Those forms do get released to the public, so you can get a general idea of what kinds of assets he holds. It's not going to show every tiny detail, but it does give a broad sense of his investments, just to keep everything transparent. So if you're curious, you can definitely peek at those disclosures.
How real time are we able to see what he's purchasing?
Yeah, so it's not exactly real time like you'd see with, say, a live feed of trades. The financial disclosures they file are typically done on an annual basis, and sometimes there are periodic updates, but there's a lag. So you're generally seeing what he held or traded after a reporting period is over, not as it happens. So it's definitely more of a transparency measure, the real-time window into his day-to-day moves.
Who has the biggest portion of the market cap of US30?
So right now, the biggest chunk of the US30 by market cap is actually held by a few tech giants. Nvidia is sitting at the top of the pile right now, followed by Microsoft and Apple. Amazon and Walmart are also up there, but yeah, the tech companies are definitely dominating the top spots at the moment.
Do their individual values push US30 in any direction?
Oh, absolutely. Those big heavyweight companies definitely have a big influence on the direction of the US30. When a giant like Nvidia or Microsoft has a really strong day or a rough day, it can nudge the whole index up or down. So yeah, those individual values definitely have a lot of sway in the overall movement of the US30.
How quickly does the US30 reflect their movement?
Pretty quickly, actually. The US30 or the Dow is basically a real-time index during market hours. So when one of those big companies moves, whether it's because of some news, earnings reports, or anything else, the index reflects that change almost instantly. It's kind of like a living snapshot of how those top 30 companies are doing, minute by minute.
Do you think you could build a intraday trading strategy based on looking at those three stocks and then making decisions on the US30?
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's definitely a viable approach. If you're looking at those big heavyweights like Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, and you see a strong move in one direction, it can definitely give you a heads up on where the US30 might be heading in the short term. Of course, like any strategy, you'd want to test it out and see how consistently it works, but using those key stocks as a sort of definitely a pretty logical approach. It's all about spotting those correlations and seeing if you can ride those waves. So yeah, you could definitely build a strategy around that idea and give it a shot.
But not all correlations are relevant to a consistent strategy, correct?
Exactly, you nailed it. Not every correlation is going to be meaningful or consistent enough to build a reliable strategy on. Sometimes you'll see patterns that seem like they make sense, but they might not hold up over time or in different market conditions. So it's definitely smart to test things out, look at historical data, and make sure that any correlation you're using is actually giving you a consistent edge. But yeah, you're totally on the right track.
Can you backtest that data for me?
I can't run a live backtest myself right here, but what I can do is walk you through how we could set one up using a platform like TradingView or any other backtesting tool. Basically, you just grab historical data for those key stocks and the US30, set your rules for when you'd enter or exit a trade, and then let the backtesting software do its thing. I'm happy to give you some step-by-step pointers if that would help.
But I'd have to do that manually, and that would take a lot of time, correct?
Yeah, it can definitely take a bit of time, especially if you're doing it all manually and pulling in the data yourself. But the good news is...
That's enough of you. I'm not doing that. So we got price pushing the level here. Big volume, probably because of this Bostic speech coming on, happening right now. I am currently in profit, so I am considering moving my stop loss into profit here shortly. I'd like to see price stay underneath the level before I start moving into profit though. I don't want to prematurely move anything. Correct. And that's why, I mean, that's the downtrend. That's the top of the downtrend channel. The uptrend is kind of right there by the 500. So I'm currently 400 in profit. So I'm going to move my stop loss into profit at that level. I might get tapped out here at 400. Nice. As long as you're out in a profit. So we are supporting just a little bit. I wasn't able to move it in time, so I might have to give this a little bit more time to get under the level. Where we're at is the high of Asia. Alright, I've got stop loss in profit 405.50, floating 460, 480 right now. Let's see if we can get that pushed down there. Stop loss in profit 405.50 off the push down through the gold zone. Stop losses in profit 405.50, floating profit 500-ish, 520. Good entry. Had to be patient, couldn't get faked out from that top side rejection. Now we got movement to the downside. 405.50, or I'll take 801.50 at the bottom of London. Let's go, baby. Do Strat. 405.50, can't lose money today. Yuzo, my entry was 640. And then I added contracts 645. I like dojis. You know, like dojis don't scare me. They actually more of like hint that we're going to be making a move somewhere, right? And that's how you guys got to remember, think based off of deduction, not addition. Right? If we see a doji and dojis tell us I don't know, then all we got to do is look for the candle that says, okay, we know which direction we're gonna go. So in this case, all I did was kind of trust the perp, right? We're overbought, price was under perp, liddies were red, and we're rejecting the high of the day. I take the risk, one entry, and then we break R1, and I jam more contracts. We're heading down towards the 500 here. I'm floating in profit about 580 right now. If I can get a solid 600, I'm gonna jump out of this entry because we're at the 500. $666. I'm out. 666. The devil's my friend. The devil's my homie. I have coffee with him every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's nice. That was good. That was good. And we're still pushing. Oh, I could have held and got the full 800, but I wanted to be safe. That's okay. I don't fuck around with the 500. You guys know that. Gold zone to gold zone, baby. That's what it is. Right? I never want to. That's why even when you told me that you were out, I was like, ooh, maybe I should move. But I was like, I'll keep it. Later, Chris. I hope you got a piece of that. Yeah. Easy entry today, guys. So, I'm done. There's a couple different entries that you guys could have taken, you know. It comes with, I don't know if you guys saw me draw the downtrend over here when it started to form, but I see this often. I see this often where we make kind of this fake out to the top side, which is why I didn't really want to buy just yet, because we were overbought, right? I don't like taking buys when we're overbought and we're rejecting the previous high. So to just wait, right? And that's all you really have to do is at 630 you would just wait. If we broke the level here, then yes, I would say, okay, I'm jumping into the top side. I'll take that risk. Remember, the more you guys just start being accepting to the risk, right? And that's the M. Exactly. So here, thank you, Nathan. I'll point this out. So, and I don't really think about the M's because I only really think juice strat entries. But so the strategy behind taking M's and W's is your entry is when price breaks the middle point right there. So like the shoulder. And if you look at the entry, you know, that would have been 645. You know, look at the juice strat. You know, that is the first candle to reject perp hard, push through the gold zone. That's your entry. So it doesn't matter. Like, that's the reason why I don't really call out the M's or W's, and I don't use them as reasons, or like Fibonacci, or you know, all those other things. I try not to use those because it just, I had a brain fart, sorry. It just complicates things. Oh my god, my fucking brain. It just complicates things, yes. So, and you look, right, if you guys had that uptrend line drawn from London session to where 630 pushed up, you would have the uptrend. Exactly what Ruben's talking about right there. So, that's the first candle to break down. You didn't have to take 640, right? Like, to me, I don't think that's early. I think 640 is perfect. You know, seeing as we were overbought, Liddy candles red, rejecting the level and the previous high. That's more than enough, you know, data for me to say, okay, I'll risk the doji entry to the bottom as we break under perp, and then I'll see if price stays underneath perp, right? 645 drops. We get a little support here as we're underneath. Price comes back up and BRCs. You know, it breaks, retests, and then it continues. You know, it retests perp, level, the downtrend, and R1 gold zone. So you could have got in at 6:40, you could have got in at 6:45, you could have got in at 7 o'clock. You know, all of those are viable entries. 7 o'clock does get you in kind of late though. I mean, you still probably got like 400-ish pips over here. Oh no, you got like 800 pips still. Yeah, that's not bad. Oh yeah, because that's a whole ass... Wow. I didn't see that there was a level there. Nice. So yeah, there's 2,000 pips actually. R1 to right here. Yeah, there's roughly 2,000 pips. Yeah. So simple entry. Gold zone to gold zone movement, right? Simple. Simple. You know, for people like Steven, right? Steven, you pointed it out to the gold zone. That's exactly what I want you to notice, right? And from the beginning, for all of you guys, I always emphasize gold zone movement. Because even like all the other indicators aside, the gold zone movement is foundation, and we just add to it, right? Like if we know we're overbought and we see price dropping through the gold zone, hey, that's a good sign that price wants to come down. Look at our Liddy candles right now. Liddy candles are strong red. Strong red from when we were overbought coming down. These are the runs that we look to take and we look to hold as long as we can. You know, I took my exit here when we broke through the 500 because I really don't fuck around with the 500. The 500, unlike any other indicator, does not give a fuck that we make money doing this. Some days it'll break right through, some days it'll bounce right up with no hesitation. But you look at it, right? So from my exit right here to the gold zone, you know, that's like 250 pips, let's say. I'm okay with that, you know. I'm taking, let's see here. Where are my entries? Sometimes I hate that I do it in like small lot sizes because I gotta add up all the fucking numbers. So 105 7150 plus 7150 plus 7050 plus 71 plus 70 plus 7050 plus 7050 plus 7050. Oh, 671 times 2. So I made 1342 for the day. One account though is 671. 671. The account that I'm copy trading, another 671. So yeah, 1342 for the day. That's good money, guys. That's livable. Make a solid G every day. I can buy more bust down jewelry. I got over buying watches and now I'm buying jewelry. Anybody have any questions? Anything at all? If not, I'm going to head out. I'm gonna make my video, my trading video. That was nice today, and that didn't take very long. What time is it over there? 7:18 for you guys? Yeah, it's 9:18 for me. This is a very good day. Going camping, hope to have service out there. You gotta go hit up Papa Elon, man, for his Starlink. He'll get you right. Have fun, man. Be safe. All right, everybody else. If nobody else has any questions, pretty straightforward day today. So I will see you guys tomorrow, bright and early, Friday, baby. Let's hope Friday gives us this quick kind of movement as well. I'll take it. I'll take all the quick movements. So, all right, everybody. I'll wait for Yuzel. Yuzel's typing. Alrighty. All right, everybody. Good shit. Irfan, I'll wait for you. Perfect. Alright, Irfan. Laters, everybody. Bye, Daniel. Bye, Vinny. Bye, Joe. Laters, everybody.